I have no idea if I'm in frame. Didn't think that one through. The point of that intro was because I didn't want to keep recording all of these at my apartment. Thought it would be a little bit more fun to just get out somewhere. I'm in some parking lot and hoping that nobody cares. But anyway, it brings up the topic for today, which is what in the world to do if you're stuck, if you're stagnant, if you, like, and I'm speaking from experience here, specifically right now. So I've been feeling a bit of a lull. I don't have like a competition that I'm doing. So with my fitness goals, it's like, okay, well, what am I shooting towards? Like, what am I working towards? I also apparently chose a spot that's right next to an airport. So I'm hoping that's not too loud. I'm gonna listen back real quick. I'm gonna wait for that plane to go away. Alright, so that intro, I just figured, what's the point of having a bunch of videos chilling in my apartment, right? That gets kind of boring. So I figured, why not head out to an abandoned parking lot? Way more exciting. Except it took me so long to fiddle with this camera, because I don't know how to do any of this, that it's getting pretty dark. Luckily, we've got some lights above. But what we're gonna cover today is what to do when you're at a complete lull, at a complete loss, or you're just like, you wanna get started and you don't know where to begin. So I've got you covered. The reason I have you covered is because I pretty much just went through the same thing. And this is something, I mean, it happens naturally to all of us, right? Where you get to the point where you're just like, you're going methodically day to day. Like, you don't really have, it honestly doesn't feel like purpose. And so this is the way to set yourself up, to get in the habit of something. I'm hoping that background noise isn't too bad. I'm gonna have to plan these out better in the future. But, we'll wait. Yeah, great, thanks, appreciate it. Cool. But this is essentially a way to break you out of a funk, or to get you started into your fitness journey if you've been out of the gym for a while. So let's dive into what that actually looks like with our handy dandy whiteboard. So I'm about to introduce something to you, and I don't want you to scoff, because the basics really do work. And when I hold this up, stay with me. You've all seen it before, right? You just write down a SMART goal. So the one part that I haven't covered here is like to decide what you actually want to, put your effort towards, what intrigues you, what motivates you. And I'm not talking about work here. I've been on like, work is a separate conversation. My day job is different from like fitness. But what gives me value is honestly like working out. And for me, I kind of have two different routes that I go for SMART goals. One is on this channel and this platform to actually share information with y'all. But then the other one is around my fitness goals. So if you haven't heard this before, what does it actually stand for? Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time sensitive. So pick something. In this case, the example I'm going to use is actually with these videos, but you can do the same thing with fitness. So I'll give an example of both. But starting with S, it's specific. So we want to have specific, like a very specific thing that we can hit in a certain time frame, and then we'll get into the rest of these. So let's cover specific, and let me write down an example here real quick. All right, hopefully you can see that. It says video a day for 30 days. That's specific. I know exactly what I need to do to achieve this. It's that I need to put a video out every single day for the next 30 days. Now, I do have a caveat to this, as I mentioned in the video yesterday, that I'm taking a vacation, and on those 4 days I won't do a video. But essentially, a video a day for 30 days. Now, let's talk about this if you were in a fitness standpoint. Like, you're at a lull, you haven't been working out, and you want to get into fitness. Well, then what you could do is do workout 3 to 5 times a week for the next month, right? That could be 30 days, 4 weeks. I mean, hell, you could even make it 8 weeks, whatever it may be, but set it specifically a number that you're trying to hit. And that kind of leads us into the next one, which is measurable, right? So let's dive into that. Turns out that my dry erase marker is kind of like going, is dead. As you can tell, I'm quite prepared for this video, but quantifiable. I kind of, damn it, these planes. All right, so quantifiable or measurable, I mean, same difference. And the reason why I didn't write something like this is because I've kind of already addressed it in my specific part, is that it has to be a set number. Like, it has to be quantifiable. Whatever you're achieving has to be numbers based, right? So in this case, it's a video, one video per day for 30 days. Like I have a specific numbers around my, around the specificity of whatever goal I'm trying to achieve. So I've got it specific, I've got it measurable, and then that leads us into the next one, which is attainable. Is it actually attainable? So let's cover that. Okay, so in hindsight, I probably shouldn't have driven out here because my dry erase marker is gone. But we're just going to walk through these. We're going to go through the rest of them, even if you can't read it. So M is measurable or quantifiable, essentially something that has to be something you can keep track of. If you were doing a fitness goal, specific would be a certain amount of times per week that you want to work out for X amount of days or X amount of weeks. You could also do specific things like numbers that you want to hit in your bench, deadlift, and squat, whatever it may be. In the same vein that it's specific is that it should be measurable when you're setting that specific challenge for yourself. The next one, A, is attainable, meaning that it's challenging for yourself, but it's still like feasible or possible is what I wrote, but you probably can't see. So, for example, in this case, creating these videos takes a lot of time, in a good way, but I want to put some effort into it. And as you can see, even with my effort, it's still coming up a bit short at times. But then you got to go back and edit them, whatever it may be. But same thing with like if you were doing fitness, then it has to be challenging, but still possible. I know that we're all busy. We all have our jobs. We all have things, friends, relationships you want to keep track of. And so that's why don't come up here to a specific thing that's measurable and be like, I'm going to work out 7 days a week. No, if you're not working out at all, no, you're not. Like, I mean, be honest with yourself. It's got to be challenging, but attainable. So maybe 3 is a good place to start. Maybe 5 if you're already working out once or twice a week. We'll wait for the plane. Also, side note, I'm from Seattle and I'm chilling in North Carolina right now in July. It's hot as shit and I'm sweating and it's humid. I'm not used to this weather. Anyway, plane passed. Attainable. Challenging but possible. The next one is realistic. You can either make it realistic or another good way to say this would be relevant. So this kind of goes back to like what your priorities are. What is your focus in life? So for me, I really like putting out this content. I could talk about fitness and like sharing what I know all day. I love doing it. So for you, if it has to be relevant. If you're watching this, I'm assuming fitness is somewhat related to you, or you just want to support me. Either way, kudos, more power to you. Please support me. But it's got to be relevant to what you want to do. And realistic, if you put the R as realistic, I've heard it go both ways, then it kind of has to go back to attainable, like that changeable or challenging but attainable thing. If you do relevant, then it's got to be something that's, if you look at it that way, then it's got to be really something that you're passionate about, something you have passion around. The last one is time. So time sensitive. And this kind of comes back to the quantifiable, like measurable a little bit, because it has to have a specific end date. Like you have to have a time frame that you're saying, this is how long I'm going to be doing it for, because otherwise you will just do it indefinitely. Hold on. You'll just do it indefinitely until you kind of burn out. So you want to put a time frame on it to say, this is when I will be done. This is when I will have achieved that goal. So the whole reason for this is to get you out of a slump or to get you into a fitness routine. And it works. Like, it sets you up for success from the get-go. This is step number 1 of the process. Tomorrow I'm going to cover macros. So if you're fitness related and you go through your SMART goals, write this down. Take 10 minutes. Maybe another 10 minutes, because I have no idea how long this video is. So it'll be 20 minutes of your day, which is not a lot. Take 20 minutes, it's worth it. And write this down for what you want to achieve in the next 30, 60, 90 days. Those are good intervals that you can set for like short-term goals. Anyway, here comes another plane. Get up close and personal, where I'm all sweaty and hot and gross. The point of all of this is to really say that before you can begin anything, you have to like know where you're going. So I always go back to the analogy of like, if a ship sets off without a destination, it's just going to wander aimlessly until it hits something, right? But if you actually set down what you're moving towards, you'll know. Like, it goes without question that every morning you wake up, you have something that you're shooting for, and you know exactly what you're trying to achieve. If you're stuck without purpose, if you're feeling a lack of purpose, start here. Find something that's relevant to you, something that you enjoy doing, and then take 30 days and just see what it does for yourself. We all, like, personal responsibility, holding yourself accountable, I don't think there's enough of it. And when people are down in the dumps about anything, then they just kind of like stay there. And listen, I know that we all have different situations, but it really is up to us. Like, there's certain things that are out of our control, but there is a lot that we can control. So take action on it. Change what you want to change and just see how it goes for you. So join me in the next 30 days. I'm going to put out these videos. I'm going to be on my diet, and maybe you'll set some specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-sensitive goals as well. That's it today. Signing off. Cheers. If you enjoyed this at all, even with the ill-prepared, whatever, dying marker, please smash that thumbs up button, and then also subscribe for tomorrow's video where we will cover macros. That's like my highly requested video. I'm very excited to get into it, telling you how to set up your macros. I'll see you tomorrow.